Bollywood talk on The Asian Show.
Yes, and hello, welcome along to episode number 3 of Bollywood talk here on The Asian Show. Now, this particular podcast, we are going to do our very first film review, and let me tell you, it wasn't an easy choice to make. However, we have made a decision, and we have decided to go for the 2007 romantic drama film called Shanti Om that featured the Badshah of Bollywood Shahrukh Khan and Bollywood queen Deepika Padukone. So firstly, let's just quickly run through the profile of this film, so in terms of its director, producers, cast, etc. So this film was directed by Shahrukh Khan, who has a good history in directing films like Mehuna, Tismar Khan and last year's Happy New Year under her belt. The producers of this film were Shahrukh himself, his wife Gauri Khan, and prior to this film, his wife has also worked as a producer in Mehuna with Farah as the director, and this, in my opinion, was important to Shanti Om, whereby it had individuals who were familiar with each other's work and shared the same vision for this film. Now, Gauri of course went on to produce other films that her husband was a part of, such as My Name is Khan, Chennai Express and Happy New Year. So of course, Shahrukh was the lead actor for this film who played the character of Om, but the lead actress was Deepika Padukone who played the role of Shanti Priya, and this was her second film after her debut film called Aishwarya in 2006. Now I will discuss their performances in greater detail, but I first will quickly run through the other actors. So the main antagonist of this film was a character by the name of Mukesh Mehra, and he was played by the talented Arjun Rampal. Kiran Kher played Om's mother, and Shreya Stalpade played the role of Papu Master. So that's the main and supporting cast of the film. There are still many other actors like Javed Sheikh and many more. It's also important to note that the dance scene of the song called Diwangi Diwangi featured many cameo appearances of many other Bollywood actors like Ajay Devgan, Kajal, Sanjay Dutt and many more. If you haven't seen the video, do check it out on YouTube. It's pretty insane, but in a good way. So now we know which actors played which characters, I'm now just going to give you a summary of the storyline and what it's about. So Om is a junior artist in Bollywood who hopes to make it big in the industry, especially with popular actress Shanti Priya. Now, much to his dismay, he finds out that Shanti Priya is married to a film producer who went by the name of Mukesh Mehra, and they are also expecting a child together. However, much to Om's horror, Mukesh had abandoned her in a studio which he set alight. Despite his brave attempts of trying to save Shanti Priya, it was all in vain as both Shanti and Om were eventually killed. 30 years later, Om is reborn to veteran actor Rajesh Kapoor, and he, like his father, is too an actor. He meets up with Mukesh Mehra where they agree to create a film called Shanti Om. Now, of course, with him being reborn, Om doesn't remember his past life, therefore he doesn't realise that Mukesh was his and Shanti Priya's killer. However, he does slowly begin to gain his memories, where he hires a Shanti Priya lookalike as he aimed to force Mukesh to tell the truth of what happened 30 years earlier. Now, Shanti Om was an extravagant and over-the-top film, but to me, that worked really well as that's what we as fans think of all Bollywood productions are like. I really enjoyed the production design of the film, especially when you consider that it had two different eras to focus on. So firstly, in the 70s and then 30 years later in 2000s. It can be extremely easy for a production design team to be lazy in this area, so full credit to the Shanti Om production design team as the film was visually great. So now I'm going to move on to the performance of Shahrukh Khan. Now, a lot of people say that he's not a comedian or he tries too hard to be funny or that his comedic scenes can sometimes feel awkward. Now, I personally don't believe that comedy is his strongest point, but I don't think he was bad at it by any means. In fact, when looking back at this film, I think he was a very good choice because as we look at how over-the-top and glamorous Shanti Om was, I think it made sense to have someone like Shahrukh as he can play the excitable and bubbly character extremely well. I did think perhaps Govinda would also be a strong candidate for the role of Om, but I suppose looking at it all together and the different layers that Om Shanti Om gives us, and it also gave us a romantic element, which therefore brought out the heartbreak as we see in the character of Om and Shanti Priya dying in the fire. And a scene like that, for me, validates that Shahrukh Khan was the right choice for this character, as he is one of the best in conveying such emotional responses from an audience. Now, as for Deepika Padukone, I think Om Shanti Om was the right step and the catalyst that she needed in order to be the actress that she is today. As we look back to this film, I think it's important to remember that this was only her second film in the industry. And with that being said, I think her performance in the film was one that you would expect from a veteran. She was really calm, composed in her acting, and she showed extremely good versatility in the different elements that her character demanded from her. As Shanti Priya, she was able to convey such poise as a leading Bollywood actress who was on the top of her game, while the audience also have empathy for the character as she was killed in the fire. Then we look at the character of Sandy, a young, innocent, fun, bubbly girl who wants to do well, but also someone who seemed relaxed, a character which a lot of people are able to relate to. So overall, Deepika was able to show such composure in this film, her second film, in how she performed many different elements to complex characters, and for me, she was the star of Om Shanti Om. So now we're going to move on to the fantastic music of this film, whereby A.R. Rahman was originally intended to compose the music. However, due to issues of copyright with T-Series, he decided not to go through with the film, which is fair enough. Now, while this was a bit of a shame, as A.R. Rahman is a great artist, one of my personal favourites, the music of Om Shanti Om ended up being composed by musical duo Vishal Shekhar. And quite frankly, they were amazing replacements. They had composed soundtracks of numerous Bollywood films such as Golmaal, Zinda, so they came into Om Shanti Om with big expectations and they did not disappoint, with some great tracks like Ajabsi and of course the star-studded song Diwangi Diwangi that featured cameo appearances of many Bollywood stars like Amitabh Bachchan, Kajal, Govinda, Salubai. I could go on and on as this list is huge, but as a summary, the music of this film was absolutely amazing. So as a summary, I think Om Shanti Om is certainly one of the better films that were made within the last decade. It was a film with some really nice production design, some amazing tracks as well, but the one thing I really enjoyed about this film, as I stated earlier, was how over the top and extravagant it was. It's what the film was about, and I think therefore it was appropriate. There was a strong cast who played their roles really well, especially Deepika, as this was only her second film in the industry. The music, as I said, was exceptional. The production design was great. So my rating for Om Shanti Om is 8 out of 10. But before I leave, I'm going to leave you with 3 questions to answer in the comment section below. So question 1. Would you have replaced anyone in the cast who wasn't a part of this film? Question 2. What was your favourite aspect of this film? And question 3. What would you have done to make Om Shanti Om better? Well, they are my 3 questions to you, so please answer below in the comment section. Also, please do share this video, subscribe to us, visit our website at www.tasradio.co.uk and follow us on Twitter at The Asian Show.